everybody. This is Rue, and welcome to another episode of Rue World Order. I'm super excited today because I have one of my favorite people who's going to talk to you about getting yourself together for our Grown Woman Glow Up Challenge. I have none other than Jen the admin. Jen is an entrepreneur. She is an administrator extraordinaire, and she is about all things planning, organization, and getting your life together. And that's what we're doing here on New World Order for the next 40 days. We are looking at tips and techniques so that we can get ourselves together. Welcome, Jen.
Hey, Rue. Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited to be on today and just sharing and being this challenge is going to be so amazing. So those of you that are on, I am happy that you're on, that you're committed to glowing up, getting yourself together. And sometimes we just need a challenge to get us from one place to the next place. So I'm excited to be here on today.
Absolutely. I have had the opportunity to see your work up close and personal out in the real world, but I'm also impressed by what I've seen on your channel, Jen the Admin. And if you haven't yet, make certain you're following Jen on her channel. But I'd like to get your perspective. So you're familiar with what we're doing here on Rue World Order, how we're going to be spending these next 40 days, getting our lives together. What are some ways that the Rue Crew can really set reasonable goals?
Okay, that's great. There are like a few ways you can go about this. There's endless. But one of the first things I would like really beseech all of you to do is to figure out where you are. Figure out where you are, because that's going to be key. I always tell people the more you reflect, the more productive you will become. So like you have to have a sense of self-awareness, and I can give you a plan of what a plan, but that doesn't mean that that plan fits your life. And everybody's gonna look different. You know, some people they can't wake up at 5 a.m. They don't get up till 9. You know, some people they work late night shifts. So like they're working or whatever the case is. So you have to figure out what works for you, and you cannot compare your journey to anybody else's. You got to figure out, I would say the first one is to figure out where you are and see, okay, what has worked in the past, what hasn't worked. And also know like if something did work in the past, doesn't mean that's going to work today. Because as seasons change in our lives, then the strategy has to change. And so if you keep that type of mindset of flexibility and being adaptable, then things like this, like when you're in a challenge, because I don't know what's going to happen in my life in the next 40 days. Do you? I
No,
don't know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
So like we don't know. So like the plan that you start with at day one of how you're going to conquer your goals, and that plan can absolutely shatter and fall flat on the ground. So
Yeah.
you have to keep that mindset of staying adaptable and flexible. So
Okay.
that's the first thing I would say. The
Well, that,
second
wait,
thing,
wait, wait,
oh,
wait,
okay,
wait, wait,
okay.
wait. Okay. You came out of the gate with some great nuggets. Okay. I just want to emphasize two things that you said.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that first step, figure out where you are, figure out where you're starting. That is excellent, right? And that's why the first step, day one, the thing we're doing is we're committing, we're figuring out where we are, we're writing that vision and making it plain, right?
Yes.
And then the second thing that you said that I think is just extraordinary is that your journey is not like anyone else's. And I think that's so important. Sometimes we see influencers or folks that we admire, and we try to make our journey analogous to theirs. And it can be analogous, but it's not the same. And so I think
Right.
that's a great place to start. And so one of the reasons that I really wanted to talk to you too is I know that you have tools available for planning. And
Mhm.
could you tell us a little bit about some of your planning tools that are available and how we can get?
Yes. So I actually have I created a planner called the My Life is Busy Planner. This is my second time doing it. Rhonda, she saw the first one, so she can
Oops,
testify.
Rhonda, I'm rude.
Oh, excuse me, Rue. Rue saw the
I
first one.
answered her both. I answered her both.
Ruth saw the first one, so she can testify that this is an upgraded version of the second time around. But I'm really excited about this one. So this planner is full of literally anything you can think of when it comes to planning. We have our vision board, so you can actually, if you take a picture of your vision board, you can put it here because sometimes we just have them in our rooms and we're not able to take them actually with us, or you did it on Canva, that's awesome. You can print it out and have it here. I have some other features in here like affirmation lists. I love affirming. I'm really big on affirmations. I think they're so key and vital. And then one of my favorite things is for you to actually break your goals up into quarterly. If you guys ever read or listen to it for free on YouTube, it's the 12-week year. You need to listen to this because it helps you to think about your goals differently. Did you know that most people are the most successful and productive at the end of the year?
Oh,
Why? You know why that is?
no, what?
Because
Why you say?
because we all have a deadline, and
Mm,
that deadline
mm,
is
mm.
December 31st. And we're approaching that deadline. So you'll see businesses and other organizations, they are actually most productive during quarter 4
Okay.
because you have a deadline. And so what the 12-week year talks about is how you can create that type of urgency and that deadline when it comes to in 90 days.
Okay. Okay.
So
So what
I
I'll
think
make certain I do for all of the Root Crew who's listening right now or watching is I will link that below so that you have a link to the 12-month year.
mhm.
You have a link
Yeah.
to the 12-month year as
Excuse me,
well.
12-week year, 12
Oh, the
week.
12-week year. Okay, see, the 12-week year. And
Mhm.
I'm rushing a little because we're short on time, but there's
Okay.
one last thing that I'd like to ask you, just from your perspective. How can we overcome some of the obstacles that come to planning, like when we think that we have a lack of time or a lack of motivation? What can we do so that we can overcome that obstacle?
Right. These are really big questions, Ruth. I'm trying to nip up. Okay, and I'm a talker, so when you talk about like time, if you're feeling like you're racing against time, I
Mhm.
think you need to change your mindset and kind of say, time is on my side. Time is my friend. I'm in time. I'm on time. Start to begin to say those things and really look at time as money. So if you're somebody that, or we all should be budgeting and knowing where our money is going and things like that, we should. I'll say that. That's not always the case. And
Might be a
hey,
good goal for your glow up. Find out where your
but
money's going. All right.
you really should know where your money is going. That way you don't even know, okay, am I making, because you may be making enough money, but you're spending it all, so you feel like you don't have any, or actually you're not making enough money. And those are two different things. So you want to you that same concept of budgeting money, you need to use that same concept when it comes to your time, and know that your time is really valuable, and like you don't have idle time to waste. You don't have idle time to scroll on the internet. You don't have time to argue and go back and forth with toxic relationships. Use your time wisely. And literally I time block pretty much every day. So every day, every hour is being accounted for in my life. And not saying it goes to plan all the time because it doesn't, but at least I know where my time is going. So you should do that. And then if you're also facing things when it comes to like distractions, or you're facing things when it this is a great time for you as you're in this challenge to identify those distractions and come up with a strategy to combat those strategies, because we all have certain distractions in our lives. So those are some obstacles that people really face when it comes to planning. And some people get discouraged because they're seeing that things aren't going to plan. And my advice to you would to be to keep going and don't let anything stop you from planning what you need to do. If you plan today, you can manage tomorrow. If you don't have a plan, you planning to fail. And that's in every area of your life.
Wow. This is some good stuff. Okay, so I heard six key things. I'm going to
Okay.
reiterate it for you, the Root Crew. I heard figure out where you are in this process, figure out where you're starting. Second,
Uh-huh.
I heard that your journey is not like anyone else's. See, I'm taking notes here. Number three, people are the most productive in the fourth quarter. I love that. And it's true. That's why people
Yeah.
start racing at the end of the year to, oh, I gotta get these 10 pounds off, I gotta get this skin
Right.
cleared up, gotta get a boob, gotta get all this stuff in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Get a boo
Okay,
for Christmas
you know,
picture.
hey, something to unwrap under the tree. Number four, so that time block every hour of your life. I love that. So that you're not wasting time with scrolling and you even threw in there wasting time on toxic relationships. That could be a whole other show.
That's another
Number
topic.
five, budget your time wisely. Just like you budget your money, you got to budget your time. And then number six, don't let anything stop you. Keep going. Keep going. I like ending with a seventh. What was something? Wait, what's the
Okay.
number seven? Let's end with a number seven.
Okay, number seven. So, one thing I would also admonish you to do is to be around like-minded people. Communities like this are really important, because you can actually pull on other people. You're not every day, you're not going to feel like doing what you need to do, but you're going to be able to pull on your community and
Mm,
also come from a place of discipline, come from a place of long-term self-denying. We need to get back into that, being able to deny ourselves that we're so able to have like pleasure like so quickly now, and so we have to learn how to really deny ourselves from temporary pleasure, and so that we can have long lasting things that are sustainable. You can build something, and if your discipline is all off, you're not going to be able to sustain it. So I can lose 20 pounds right now, right?
mm,
But
yeah.
how am I going to be able to sustain that for the rest of my life?
Wow, Jen, this is amazing. Who says that Gen Z isn't wise? That is great. This is great stuff. Thank you so much for coming on today. How can people get in touch with you?
Great. You guys can actually follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Jen the admin. I'll give the link to Rue so she'll be able to post for this my stand store, so that you guys can purchase the planner. I'm really excited about this planner. I want to see you achieve your goals, and I've given you a tool to do that, to stay organized. It is not just your normal planner, and it comes with stickers, y'all. I have stickers, and it's fully loaded for you to just keep going and to stay organized during that process. So
All
thank you
right.
so much for having me on.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey, Rue Crew. All right. Don't say that I haven't given you the tools to glow up. And I'm so glad that Jen, the admin, is our first guest in this process. This is day one. We got 39 more good days to go so that we can set the foundation for creating the lives that we want. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you so much, Rue Crew. And I'll see you soon. Oh, and by the way, remember, be authentically you, because I will always be authentically Rue. Talk to you soon.